Get ready for the action, because the UFC is doubling down on its controversial use of artificial intelligence in promotions. Craig Borsari has weighed in, confirming that the UFC has absolutely no plans to move away from using AI in their promotional content, even in the face of fan backlash. We dive into how Borsari explains the strategy behind using this evolving technology to amplify storytelling and keep the content fresh for the Paramount Plus era.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we're looking back at the history of explosive finishes in the UFC light heavyweight division. We're tracking down the fastest knockouts ever recorded, starting with Ryan Jimmo's memorable first-round knockout of Anthony Perosh back in 2012, and exploring other shocking subminute finishes from events like UFC Fight Night 13. Now, we shift gears to the main event action as Brazilian welterweight Carlos Prates delivers a stunning performance. Carlos Prates crushed hometown hero Jack Della Maddalena in Perth, Australia, stopping him with a brutal combination of kicks and knees, setting up an exciting challenge for the winner of the Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Makhachev bout. And finally, we look at the aftermath of that explosive main event. We break down the highlights from the UFC Perth event, focusing on how former welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena faced number 5, ranked Carlos Prates, and what that brutal defeat means for his path forward. Don't miss the full story, stay tuned right here. The Ultimate Fighting Championship is firmly committed to integrating artificial intelligence into its promotional content, despite ongoing fan criticism. Craig Borsari, the UFC Chief Content Officer, has explicitly stated that the organization has no intention of abandoning AI in its content creation strategy. In an interview with Jake Arrier on Against the Cage, Borsari defended the technology, positioning AI as a powerful production tool designed to enhance storytelling rather than replace human creativity. Borsari clarified that AI functions as an amplifier for content creation, drawing a comparison to using a green screen. He emphasized that the technology is an evolving technique that the UFC must embrace to avoid stagnation. The way we look at AI is not a substitute for content creation, but rather a way to amplify it, Borsari explained. He stressed that editors and producers remain central to the process, utilizing AI during production rather than surrendering creative control to automated prompts. He asserted that the team is still in the early stages of AI adoption, viewing it as a means to achieve new levels of content production that were previously unattainable. This stance comes amid a divided reaction from the fanbase. While some viewers perceive AI-generated promos as cheap shortcuts resulting in lower-quality visuals compared to traditional packages, the promotion views it as a necessary technological shift within the broader sports media landscape. Reports indicate that AI-based ads frequently generate online backlash, contrasting with the reception of more traditional hype videos. This commitment to technological evolution is set against a backdrop of major upcoming events. The UFC White House event, branded UFC Freedom 250, is scheduled for June 14 on the South Lawn. The card features several high-profile matchups, including Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje for the lightweight title, Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gain for the interim heavyweight title, and other significant bouts. The event is being scaled up for public viewing, with free tickets distributed via a lottery system at the Ellipse, transforming the fight night into a larger public spectacle. The history of the UFC light heavyweight division is punctuated by explosive finishes, with several knockout performances standing out in the records. A landmark moment remains Ryan Jimmo's first-round knockout of Anthony Perosh at UFC 149 on July 21, 2012, which is recognized as the fastest knockout in UFC light heavyweight history. Jimmo, entering the bout on a 16-fight winning streak, secured the finish with a single right hand that left Perosh defenseless. Jimmo described the moment as simply going at him, knowing the impact would be significant. Other rapid-fire finishes have also shaped the division's narrative. At UFC Fight Night 13 on April 2, 2008, Irvin delivered a devastating Superman punch, knocking out the Nebraskan in just 8 seconds of the first round, marking the only sub-minute finish of his 29-fight career. More recently, UFC on ESPN 56 on May 11, 2024, saw St. Louis Ulberg dispatching Seekson Muay Thai product Menefield in the first round. Menefield was knocked out in just 12 seconds after a combination along the fence prompted the stoppage. In 2016, UFC 20 featured a dramatic first-round finish when Las Vegas Johnson ended the fight against Brazilian veteran Teixeira in 13 seconds. Johnson's violent punching power secured the victory for the UFC fighter, marking the first time Teixeira had been finished in over 14 years. Adding to the list of quick stoppages, UFC 163 in Rio de Janeiro on August 3, 2013, saw Parash defeat his opponent in a blistering 14 seconds. Parash capitalized on a right cross to take the fight to the ground and deliver successive right hands until the referee intervened, earning him a significant bonus. Brazil's Carlos Prates secured a dominant victory over hometown hero Jack Della Maddalena at UFC Fight Night in Perth, Australia. Prates showcased his power, dropping Maddalena with a chopping calf kick late in the second round and following up with 3 more significant strikes, a knee, a head kick, and a leg kick, to knock him down in the third round before the fight was stopped by the referee. This win marks Prates' third consecutive victory and boosts his record to 24-7 with 19 knockouts. In contrast, Della Maddalena suffered his second straight loss, falling to 18-4 with 12 knockouts. Following his triumph, Prates announced his intentions for the future, calling for a match against the winner of the unconfirmed welterweight title bout between Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Makhachev. Prates expressed confidence, stating, "I can punch, I can knee, I can kick. So I'm better, and now I feel like I'm the #1 contender. I can't wait to see Makhachev and Ian, and then I'm going to fight the winner." The event also featured other notable action. Quillan Salkeld of Australia won the co-main event by securing a first-round technical knockout against lightweight Beneil Darius. The main card delivered several exciting finishes, including a unanimous decision victory for flyweight Steve Erceg over Tim Elliott, a TKO win for featherweight Marwan Rahiki against Ollie Schmid, a second-round knockout for heavyweight Brando Perisic against Shamil Gaziev, and a unanimous decision win for heavyweight Louis Sutherland against Tai Tuivasa. The UFC Perth event saw a significant upset as former welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena failed to secure a rebound following his title loss to Islam Makhachev. In the main event, Della Maddalena faced the highly ranked Carlos Prates and was ultimately defeated, leaving him visibly bloodied. The fight delivered a decisive performance from Prates, marking a setback for Della Maddalena in his immediate post-title aspirations.